review of the YI Handheld Gimbal for the YI 4K cameras. I want to talk to you a little bit about them, show you some comparisons between just a regular selfie stick or regularly holding your camera and with this new gimbal. So there's a few different modes that it comes in by pressing the power button in a certain sequence. There's the pan mode, which is the default mode that is pretty much what you'll probably be using. Any way you turn your camera or your stick or whatever you've mounted the gimbal to, it's going to follow that direction, but in a more smooth manner. So instead of quickly jerking one way to the other, it's going to be real smooth. It's going to be a little bit of a delay, but it's going to be smooth. Next one's going to be the pan and tilt mode. So what that does is the roll axis is locked, so only the tilt and the pan can move. And then there's lock mode. This one I think is a pretty useful tool potentially. If you want to focus on one specific area, no matter how high or how low you move your camera, it stays exactly on that spot. So I think that one's that in the pan mode probably the most useful. Alright, well, I want to talk to you about why I decided to get this. I decided to get this gimbal because after buying my Phantom 4 Pro, I didn't realize before what I was missing out on when it came to video quality and image stabilization. There was no way that I was going to be able to blend creative videos from my cell phone with my drone. My drone's camera is so crisp, so clean, so smooth. My iPhone 6 wouldn't be able to put out a video of that quality. I know that the 6S and above has 4K video, and I understand that's pretty good, but I'm not ready to buy another phone yet. So I bought a YI 4K Plus. But the second reason I bought this is once I bought the YI 4K Plus, I realized how hard it was going to be for me to control my hands. It just seemed like no matter how careful I was being, how smooth I was trying to be with the camera, it always looked jerky and shaky, or it was an inconsistent pace. That's the thing about the drone, is if you got a steady finger on the throttle, it stays in that nice smooth shot. You need at least 5 to 10 seconds before you break that shot so that you can trim it down and get a good video. I couldn't do that with my hands no matter how hard I tried. So I feel like this gimbal is going to give me a little bit better cinematography when it comes to my handheld stuff. And the biggest reason I went ahead and took the plunge and purchased this is on July 10th, 2017, one day before Amazon Prime Day. I got a notice from Camel. They sent me an email and notified me that this had dropped by 48%. So the going rate on it was approximately $200 US. And it went down to 100. So I jumped on that as fast as I could, and sure enough, I went back just out of curiosity to check the next day, and it had gone up. It redoubled back to its original price. So I'm glad that I got it, because I just was really not on the fence about spending another $200 on that. You know, at the time that I bought the YI Action Cam here, the 4K Plus, it was probably between $200 and $300, and then the drone Phantom 4 Pro, it was just adding up more and more and more. talk a little bit about some of the things that I didn't really like. I didn't really like the fact that it didn't have a handle already on it. You know, my eye was definitely on the Osmo Mobile, because when I did upgrade my cell phone and have a 4K video camera on it, the Osmo Mobile seemed like the superior device. It has controls on it so that it's not all manual the way you're moving it and choosing for it to pan up and down or left and right. This doesn't have that. It doesn't have it at all. Everything is based on your own personal movements. The other thing I didn't like, it's really, really heavy. And I mean, we can all lift it, and I think on a selfie stick, it's not a big deal. But when you're talking about mounting it to things and being a little more creative with where it's at, for example, in my video, I'm going to show you here where I'm mounting it to the roof of my car, mounting it to the dash of my car, mounting it on my bike. Those GoPro connectors, those devices that you use to mount your GoPro, there's only so many of them you can connect and keep stability. I mean, it's going to be shaky, it's going to fall over, and there's only so tight you can tighten those screws. The next thing I didn't like is the battery compartment. Right here, you got a battery compartment where you unscrew this bolt, and this metal backing comes off. And you got two rechargeable batteries here, and you have to take them out and recharge them. There is a port, if you can see right here, there is a port that you might think maybe it's for charging. It is not for charging. It's only for updating firmware. I didn't really like that. So there is a separate device that you have to plug in these batteries to that come with it. I just think that's like maybe they rushed through this. But it does feel strong and firm. In fact, it's all metal, and it is so heavy, it does feel like it's good quality. Another thing I think they missed the mark on was the lack of application support. On the YI's application that you can control with your phone, see, there's me recording myself right now. There's an option for, it shows the actual gimbal. It shows the few different YI cameras that are available, and then it shows the gimbal. And I was thinking once I had the gimbal and purchased the gimbal, maybe that particular option did something, but it actually doesn't do anything. It contains the user guide, the instructions, how to set it up and whatnot. But that's all it shows. But I think if they would have added a little more into this, maybe we could have controlled it with the phone. Maybe the things that we were missing off of the handle that the Osmo Mobile has, maybe we could have panned up, panned down, pan left, pan right, set a slow pan so that we could take a very long time lapse and be able to get that smooth pan in there with everything else rushing around. I mean, that's a really cool effect, and that's just not something you can do with this unless you're willing to sit here for an indefinite amount of time and slowly turn it. So those are the few things I didn't like. All right, well, let's talk about the things I did like. I did kind of like, and on the other side of my mouth, I did like that it didn't have a handle, because this can pretty much be attached to anything with one of these bolts where the where a selfie stick would fit. So there's lots of mounting hardware that you can get for action cameras and stuff like that. This can be mounted to almost anything. It's not restricted to a handle. So it doesn't just have to be a handheld gimbal. So in a way, I do like that. I do like the performance it gives on walking. When you're walking with this in your hand or attached to some kind of a selfie stick or something like that, it improves the quality so much. On the video you're going to see, I thought like, gee, I was trying to be cautious and be careful and walk smoothly when I was just walking with it on the stick, the plain stick without this. As it turned out that it looks really, really bad. And you're probably going to think, oh, JXBX80, he's just shaking it around on purpose to make the gimbal look good. That's not really the case. I'm not trying to have a self-fulfilling prophecy that, I have to feel good about my purchase of this gimbal, so I'm going to make the non-stabilized version really, really bad to compare it to the so-so footage of this. So that's not what happened. It came across my mind, and I was the one that recorded the video, so I did try my best on that. The other thing I really like, again with the cycling and with the not so much like off-road mountain biking, but regular cycling, if you wanted to mount this to your bike, it makes for some much more interesting footage rather than just mounting it on your helmet or mounting it on the handlebars. It always keeps the horizon very level, so it's a very different feel. And you may or may not like that. You'll have to judge for yourself when you see the video. It is what it is. But again, this is a handheld gimbal. It's not advertised to be mounting to your cars, mounting to your bikes and stuff like that, your ATVs and dirt bikes. It's not what it's advertised for, although it might give you a look that you might be looking for. You have to just experiment, I guess. The last thing I like the most about it is, yes, granted, I got this thing at 50% of the regular price, the regular going price, but even without that discount or that luck of the draw that I got, it's still much more competitively priced than the Osmo Mobile and some of the other gimbals that are out there on the market. So that's the last thing that I really liked about it. Stay tuned. We're gonna do a bunch of side-by-side comparison videos so you can kind of get an impression of what it looks like with the gimbal. All right, thank you. So let's try this again. Mounting it on top of the roof did not seem to give me the results I thought I was going to get. I'm not sure if it's the actual suction cup stand that was attached here to the sunroof, or maybe it was the sunroof, or maybe it was just the wind, but all the video was like this, as you can just see. So I'm going to try doing it on the inside. So I've got this mounted to my my glass touchscreen radio. It's going to look straight out the front. Maybe that'll look better. I was just trying to avoid the glare of the windshield reflecting back, as that does make a big difference in the video quality. So that's why I wanted to do it on the outside. We'll see. We'll see. suction cams. It's got a little clip on it. Clip it on the bike. See what that looks like.